This is Paul Turner, the Immigration Barrister to Imperium Chambers. Thank you for tuning in and please subscribe to my channel. Well, just how low can Priti Patel go in making a dying man fight for his right to a British passport? Pretty low, it seems, as you will discover from watching this video. Thank goodness for the High Court, where a challenge was brought, which has held that the Home Office's handling of the Windrush scandal is irrational. Yet another example of Priti Patel ignoring the Windrush lessons learned report, and further proof, if needed, that her statement that the Home Office was going to be humane was a little short of the truth, or economical with the actualite, as some former Tory minister said. I think it was Anne Clark. In a recent case, the court ruled that the Home Office's handling of some Windrush citizenship applications had been irrational and unlawful. That's if they've got around to handling them at all, of course. What the Home Office were doing was refusing some of the Windrush generation based on minor convictions, often though these were very historic and had no real relevance, as you will see. In one case, and this was the case that was brought to court, the individual arrived in the UK aged 3 in 1960, and the Home Office denied him nationality for over 10 years and only granted him naturalisation when he was dying of cancer. In a sign of true compassion, and I say that cynically, or probably to avoid the High Court further criticising her, the Home Office finally granted him citizenship on an exceptional basis 3 weeks before his sad death. And my condolences go to him and his family in that regard. If the Home Office thought this would be the end of the matter, on the basis that it was now academic, they were sadly wrong, as his daughter continued the fight and won in a pretty damning decision. And the judge said that it was irrational for the Home Office to insist that Windrush claimants should meet the good character requirement, which is one element of eligibility for citizenship, and it was unlawful to continue refusing citizenship to applicants on the basis of minor criminal records. Why the good character requirement was ever in place for those of the Windrush generation as opposed to people generally clearly exercised the court. This was because in the 1980s the Home Office had a programme to allow this generation to register if they wanted to, but at the same time they said you don't need to if you can't be bothered, and so a lot of people didn't, and then there was no good character requirement. And then of course the scandal broke, and then the Home Office were falling along and saying, oh, we're terribly sorry, it's a big tragedy, we're going to make this right, and playing as if they accepted that they were wrong, while they quietly reintroduced the good character requirement and have refused people on the basis that they are criminals, even if the offences, such as the applicant's offences, were minor, historic, and didn't lead to a prison sentence. So we're not talking about Pablo Escobar here. This is yet another example of the government and the Home Office saying one thing, we're humane, we're people first, whilst doing exactly the opposite. Indeed, making a man fight for his naturalisation whilst suffering and dying of cancer is a pretty poor show, even by Priti Patel's standard. This is a welcome decision from the court, and as I say, I'm only sad for the applicant and his family that he did not get justice earlier so they could benefit from what he was clearly entitled to. As I say, this is one of many of the other numerous criticisms of Priti Patel, and one can only ask the question is just how much longer can she stay in her job? I mean, this is the most disgusting fight that the Home Office have probably put up. Probably not the most disgusting given some of the arguments they put forward, but it is a pretty disgusting case that they tried to run. But fortunately the High Court ruled that it was irrational. So thank goodness for the High Court, thank goodness for the impartiality of the judges, who seem to be the only people capable of holding her to account at the moment. Thank you for watching this disturbing story about Priti Patel's moral vacuum and persecution of minorities. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you again for watching. This is Paul Turner, the Immigration Barrister to Imperium Chambers.